Hello and welcome back for a brand new episode of UMass Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Chris Corso. Let's get right to it and roll that tape. We'll take a look at the UMass baseball team's first home series of the spring season. Then we'll look and check into the Minutemen as they took on Fordham at Sortino Field. And we'll check out Grant Whitewall, who scores not one, not two, but 3 goals for UMass in the game against Fairfield. We'll be right back, and we're discussing all this and more. This is UMass Sports Weekly.
This is UMass Sports Weekly.
Back to UMass Sports Weekly. I'm here for the baseball segment, and we got our experts right here, and that's Tim Dennehey and Kaitlin Corbett. Welcome, guys. The baseball team is playing real well.
Absolutely.
7-5 in the conference, which is something that we haven't seen in a couple years, and they win the first round of that Beanpot Tournament. So I'm going to go to you, Tim, for this first one. What was the key to winning that first game against Harvard in the Beanpot Tournament?
Well, the keys against Harvard. What really impressed me with this Harvard game was after Harvard went up early 3-0, it was Adam Picard who evened the odds by hitting a home run in the 4th inning. They tied it up. This home run was the big spark that the Minutemen really needed going after in this game. After Harvard went up 5-4 in the 7th inning, it was Kyle Addy who showed his clutch bat by providing the Minutemen with an RBI single to tie it up. You'll hear more about him from our expert, Tommy Colludi, in a little bit. And then UMass would go up 6-5, and in the top of the 8th, Harvard had 2 outs with the bases loaded. It was junior Evan McIntosh who showed ice in his veins by striking out Harvard's cleanup hitter, Ethan Ferrara. UMass held on to win this in the 9th inning to cap off a fantastic weekend of Minutemen baseball. After they won the series against St. Bonaventure, they won it 2-1.
Well, Tim, that's a great win. The Beanpot is always a big tournament for this team every year, as it is for all the New England teams, because these teams don't get the funding like all those teams down south, so they look forward to this tournament every year. And now we're in the finals against BC. So, Kaitlin, I'm going to ask you, what do Mike Stone and the boys have to do to win this tournament?
I think going into this tournament, they definitely need to stay consistent with their pitching. Just like in the last game, they got out of that jam with the bases loaded. I believe it was in the 4th inning. Maybe later on.
That was in the 8th inning.
Oh, 8th inning, sorry. So they got out of a jam. It was 1.2 innings pitched by McIntosh, scoreless, and he got out of that bases-loaded jam. So definitely they need to stay consistent with their pitching. Last time UMass played BC, they lost 11-1, so it wasn't a great game for them. But I think definitely what they should do is stay consistent, not walk batters. They gave up 3 walks, which was in the 6th inning and led to a 7-run inning for BC, which ended up leaving them with the win. So they definitely need to work on that.
Well, we look forward to this tournament. It used to be at Fenway Park, the championship game. That was always a great thing to look forward to. This year it's not over there, but it's definitely... Oh, it is at Fenway Park. I take that back.
I believe they switched it, yeah.
Oh, they just switched it?
I believe they switched it,
That's great. So they love playing there. Mike Stone loves playing there, and it's going to be a big game for this team, probably the biggest game of the season other than the A10 tournament. So we're looking forward to that right away. And then we get into the bulk of that A10 schedule, and it's been successful so far. I wasn't expecting it, guys, and it's really good to see out of this team.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back, and we'll be talking UMass softball. Stay tuned.
Hey UMass, this is Brittany Collens for UMass Sports Weekly. End of the year is approaching, but UMass sports are in full speed. Here's this week's schedule for the Minutemen. Tomorrow, women's and men's track and field head to Holy Cross to compete in the heptathlon and decathlon, both starting at 11. Meanwhile, baseball will travel to Connecticut to play Hartford at 3. This Thursday, softball has a doubleheader versus Marist, while men's and women's track and field start day 2 of competition at Holy Cross. Women's tennis starts round 1 at the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament at the University of Virginia. Last but not least, rowing will have an all-day competition hosting Connecticut. Get ready for Friday because it's the UMass spring football game with free admission at McGurk Stadium. Baseball will be at St. Louis for an evening game, and women's lacrosse will take on St. Joseph's on the road at 7 p.m. Men's track and field will keep busy by participating in the Larry Ellis Invitational. Saturday, April 18th, baseball will take on St. Louis one more time, and softball will challenge St. Bonaventure at home. Men's and women's track and field are back to Holy Cross for an invitational, while men's lacrosse hosts Drexel at 4 p.m. Rowing will close out the day, taking on BU, Northeastern, and Brown University. And closing out the week on Sunday, we have women's lacrosse at LaSalle. I'm Brittany Collens, and this is UMass Sports Weekly.